Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Most engineers undercharge for automation projects and leave thousands on the table, or overcharge and lose the sale altogether. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to price your projects correctly, so you protect your margins, stay competitive, and build a profitable business. Pricing is not just numbers, it determines your business survival, your client relationship, and your reputation. A smart price reflects your skill, the value you deliver, and the risk you take on every project. Let's go ahead and do a quotation on a real project. So here we have an Excel. It's a quotation which we have been using for the past 12 years. We started with it. It's revision number 9.2. Nowadays we use a proper software for quotation and sales. So this is a good start for anyone who would like to start and to master the prices and the quotation in general. Let's go through it. First of all, I would like to say that there are two types of quotation you can do. You can do just sales of equipment, or you can do a project, which includes also engineering, programming, and other stuff, installation. So, first of all, you have to always keep track of your quotation. So basically, you have to put your client. Let's say we have a water municipality. The project is like flow monitoring, because we have a bunch of flow meters in this quotation. The quotation is number 1, and let's say this is the revision number 2. So when you have different revisions, always save as and name them differently, so you can go back and see what changes have been done. Also, you might have different team members working on this quotation, so it's good to have everything tracked. And this quotation is done by me. Next, in our country, maybe in your country as well, you have different currencies. Maybe you buy in euros and you sell in another currency. In this case here is the shekels. So always put the exchange rate. It might be useful, especially if you have different currencies in the items that you have. Let's say you bring some material from abroad and some material you buy them locally. So you can always use this conversion rate. Next, you have to define 3 things: margins, overhead, and VAT. The overhead is basically how much your business is consuming money to run. So let's say this year you estimate that your revenue will be 1 million euros, okay? Based on your expenses that you know of your business, or you can expect if you are starting new, you can tell how much percentage you have to put on overhead so you can cover your costs. So this is very important. Another thing to consider is the margins. It really depends on each country, but in general, you can put something around between 10 to 30% for this type of applications. As for VAT, it's 16% in our country. So this has to be adjusted based on your VAT percentage. The last one here, it's the services, which you can see at the bottom. So here we have the bunch of materials here. And here we have in blue, which are the services. Let's say you have programming, installation, commissioning. So basically to allow them to show and calculate, you just put 1, and then you have the prices here, which are taken from here. And basically you have to sit and define what is your delivery cost, your installation rate, the programming, and these are daily rates basically. And later on we will define how many days we need for this project. Next, we can put also the estimated delivery date. So let's say if you're doing just a sales quotation for item, just selling equipment, let's say you can put delivery date, and then you have the total number of weeks for the delivery. Always take some margin, because you don't want to be late. Some clients don't like that at all, and they might change their supplier if they know that you are always, late. So things happen. Always take at least 1 to 2 weeks in advance, or as a margin for the delivery. Some quotations have items and numbers, so they not necessarily give you this. They just say they want a PLC, and it's item 1.1. So it's a good idea just to make sure that they understand you. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna leave this Excel down in the comments so you can access it and use it for your own quotations. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a PLC with analog input and 3G communication. we have a power supply, bunch of breakers, and we have a battery, a UPS system. We have the panel itself from Rital. We have a pressure transmitter, 4 flow meters with a transmitter, and bunch of cables and conduit, which are of course important to quote. You have to basically to think everything you will need for quotation. Then we have express delivery. Well, it's not really express delivery. This is a project. There is no need to fill anything here. Battery shipping. Yes, we have a battery here. So whenever you have batteries, the DHL or other companies, they charge for shipping fees for dangerous goods. So you basically have to fill here. So it's approximately 500 euros for the shipping of the batteries. So it's a small panel, generally it's 760. So I would say it will take for the assembly 2 days. For the programming, it's also a basic application. Let's say it's take 2 days, and for programming, 2 days for installation on site. So let's say you have 2 engineers and the commissioning 1 day. So the total fuel maybe 3 days. And the delivery of material, yes, you might have delivery. So it's, let's say, 1 trip for the delivery. And then you have the discount column where you can put your discounts, the price after the discount without the VAT, and then I prefer always to add the VAT at the beginning and then apply the margins and all the overheads. You can do the opposite. You can apply the margin overhead and then consider the VAT just at the end, or just provide it to the client without VAT. Not everyone likes it to have the price without the VAT. Depends on your norm in your country. I prefer to have the price given to the client including the VAT, so he knows exactly how much he's gonna pay. And then you have the profit percentage. You can also adjust it manually if you want per item. It's also possible. In some cases it's needed. I don't like to round the numbers. Why? Because I'd like my client to have the impression that I really calculated my price, just like I'm doing now. I don't want him to think that I just estimated the price, which is unprofessional. So I keep all the decimal points. Of course, only 2 is enough. And finally, we have the total price. When I do a quotation for a client for a project, I don't give him all the details. I write him a big description and give him one lump sum price. And I always should try not to give individual prices for the clients, because then he will just, cut down your price, compare with other companies, other suppliers, and then your offer, which you started with 35K, will end up in 25K because he removed a bunch of items from you. So always, as much as possible, try not to give individual prices. Then you have here, okay, it's a reminder for the exchange rate, the cost of material, including VAT, the gross profits in both currencies, net profit, which is after you remove the overhead and after you remove the VAT. And finally, you have another metric, which is the net profit with the overhead, in case you need it. This table is basically the final price, which is auto-populated by the table above, which you can copy and paste into your quotation for the client. If you wish to provide it in euros, of course, you can apply some discounts if needed. And also another table in case you want to exchange into your local currency. And then you can just copy-paste it to your client. And there you have it. For sales with engineering effort, adjust your margins based on your client's ROI, project impact, and the competition with similar level of expertise. Complex or high-risk projects need higher pricing to cover the unexpected surprises that will go along the way. And finally, after the project is completed, it is good to revisit the quotation to check the estimated cost for future reference. So next time, you know exactly how to price it properly. So now tell me, what's your biggest pricing challenge? Leave them in the comments and like and subscribe if you like the video and want to see more soon. Have a good day.